The flood scene was an interesting technical challenge because, like everything else in the film, I wanted it to be in camera.
For a film of this size, there's a surprisingly low number of CG shots.
And I brought into the production my favorite special effects team, led by Ilya Popov. We decided to take 2 cargo containers, which held 22,000 gallons of water each.
That's what the pit should look like. That's great.
That's where we've got our cameras, dunking in and out of the water. We're trying to keep the camera with the actor. It's an extreme amount of current. And that's where we also had to kind of integrate some visual effects. We knew that our flood sequence was going to be brief, but we wanted it to be potent, and we wanted every shot to really count for something. And so even though we had a short flood, we wanted to create a memorable flood.
When you dump 44,000 gallons of water onto a group of stuntmen and actors, that literally knocks their legs out from underneath them and sweeps them away like a real tsunami would. You look at it and you go, that's not fake.
Basically, we have a church steeple that in the shot, as the actors are here in the cars, it's just in the background. It's more like a vignette, and it goes tumbling off the top of the roof on a certain cue. So we've rigged it to one of our compound ratchets so that when we release it, it'll tumble towards the ground there to our trench plate and probably land right where that gentleman's standing, maybe a few feet on that side of him.
I would say that the sequence that was probably the most challenging was the cell tower sequence. We were about to shoot this sequence on Main Street, and our forecast was clear blue sky, not a cloud in sight for a week, and we needed a week to shoot the sequence.
The one thing you can't do in a hurricane movie is shoot in sun. So I made the decision to shoot at night and to light it like it was day.
So we, over our own Main Street, we brought in, our own balloon lights and created our own daylight in there. Very moody, very pooly. We could move around, and it was important for me to make it flexible. We didn't want to lose any time.
That was the longest 10 nights of shooting I think I ever had.
The scene on the tower, I was so wet within the first hour that the whistling wind and those leaves that they were throwing up were like razor blades. That I actually felt like I'd been in a storm hour 1 and there were another 11 to go.
Yeah, that's a wrap for the fans. These suckers are done, and they're going back to good old USA to get cleaned up and repaired and lick our wounds from this show. It's been rough on all the equipment, but it was well worth it. Every shot on the screen, hopefully Rob's happy with, and see what happens.
Typically on a stunt sequence, you don't have an actor who's out there hanging from the truck. You have a stuntman, and you're trying to avoid his face, and you're trying to shoot it in a way where you can get wide shots with the stuntman and tighter shots with the real actor, and that's how pretty much every stunt scene that's ever been shot has been constructed,
There's a stunt where I drop down to grab my brother. I climb up the truck. He gets out of the car, and he's going to run and jump as the car is drifting back, right? There's no foot on the gas. Just the distance keep getting longer and longer, and I'm having to sort of launch myself and hopefully grab the back of the big rig. And those split seconds that were in the air, it felt like, this is interesting. I'm in midair right now.
So we had stuntmen there to protect them and help keep them safe and cable them and all that, and design ways for them to do it. So they were very well coached and very well supported by a stunt team.
So yeah, putting it on location in the streets with the actors, creating the hurricane around them, it really had the impact that I wanted, and it creates the tension that the story very badly needs.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.